Alright. Alright, yeah, no, it was pretty bad. But anyway, I'm gonna go on my Angel Beats rant now then. Um, Sorry, I watched it with my roommate, and while she's out here putting her shoes on before they go to the store, I was asking her if she had anything to say about it specifically, but she doesn't remember it because she said that she blocks out bad things. But yeah, her and I watched it together. So, okay. You know what? Let me Control S this bullshit. I feel like I need a diagram to. I feel like this will actually make a lot more sense if I draw it out while I explain it. No, I don't give a dick what size this is. I need it to be. Okay. So, if I remember correctly, there are. I'm going to draw some blue because I like blue. If I remember correctly, there are 6 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how well I can get this from memory first. Okay, of course there's like this. Oops. Of course there's like this short hair, like, you know, average fucking high school bullshit anime. Okay, he's apparently a giraffe now too. Protagonist, that's the protag. I know that there's a girl and she has fluffy hair. I think it's pink. It's either pink or blonde. I know that there's... I think I put it in... Check your black bag. I think I put it in your purse for you. I think there's a guy in a wheelchair, if I remember correctly. Who's apparently a giant compared to the rest of them. I know that there's a tomboy. And I know that the romance has big boobs. And, see, that's her pleated schoolgirl skirt. They're all fucking giraffes, apparently. Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, so... this shows... Oh, it was a girl in a wheelchair? Okay, so then there you go. It's a girl in a wheelchair now. Anyway, though, this goes to show you exactly how memorable the characters were to me. First of all, I think the characters were extremely bland. I think they were extremely unmemorable. I thought they were boring as all fuck. First issue I have with Angel Beats is... And I mean, like, you can make an anime without memorable characters if you have a unique plot. Kind of like... I feel like Attack on Titan has some pretty generic character archetypes, but because it has more of a unique plot, I actually remember who they are, because I remember, okay, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did this. With Angel Beats, the thing is, they're all just fucking, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're all in fucking goddamn purgatory. So, the thing is, like, it's not a unique plot, the characters aren't unique, like, it could be a cool idea, but they're all just, it's like a slice of life that tried really hard to be a drama. So, basically to cut to the chase, I thought the ending was fucking garbage. If you've not watched it, I'm sorry, but you asked for the Angel Beats rant, so you're getting the ending. They're all in purgatory, and they all died in high school, and they basically have to, accept their flaws. Excuse me, I'm yawning because of how boring this anime was. Basically, this high school is purgatory, and to get out of purgatory, they have to accept, like, the reasons that they died, if I remember correctly. And the reasons, like, one of them's like, oh, I was bullied, one of them was yada yada, whatever, bullshit, I don't give a fuck. This is where I'm gonna start ranting about classical literature. The characters were not well written. Again, I can't remember who the characters are, if that says anything about it. I just, like, just because of anime tropes, I know that the main character was a bland-ass dude with brown hair. That's all I remember about him. I don't remember how he died. I don't care how he died. I don't care about any of that. I just remember he was a bland-ass dude with brown hair, and I'm pretty sure the love interest was a cute girl with either pink I know that there was a girl in it with pink hair, but I don't remember if that was a love interest. But it doesn't matter because I don't care. But basically, the ending of the anime, it like, according to my friend actually, it was supposed to be a 24 episode anime, which I do agree with him might have improved it, but as it is, it's a 12 episode anime, and it very much like the ending of it expects a huge emotional payoff without earning it. Oh, thank you. See, apparently you paid more attention than I did. I knew someone had pink hair. But the ending of it, like, expects a really big emotional payoff, but I feel like doesn't earn it. Like, basically, when you realize, like, oh, they've been dead the whole time, and they, like, had these struggles in life that they now have to deal with, you're supposed to feel bad for them, and I just didn't. Like, it was so contrived and so forced to me that it actually irritated me. Like, it wasn't so much like, oh, I kind of, you know, whatever, that wasn't that good. Like, it so clearly expected a huge emotional payoff to me, like, from me, that from my point of view, it didn't earn, that it really actually irritated me. Like, there's definitely anime that I will say were boring, but I wouldn't say I hated, but I hate Angel Beats. Because I don't like when a story... I'm a big literature buff. Like, sorry, I'm burping a lot, and I don't know why. You know, surprise or not, I am actually a pretty big literature buff. I love reading. I actually almost minored in English in college. And I especially love very character-driven books and novels. My favorite author is actually Vladimir Nabokov, because he writes absolutely phenomenal characters. Like, fan-fucking-tastic characters. If you're not familiar with Nabokov, he wrote Lolita, which I hope you're familiar with, because it's a very popular thing. I mean, not hope as in, like, oh, if you don't know it, you suck. Like, it basically is a story about a pedophile. However, Nabokov is such a goddamn good writer that people, like, were basically, like, apologizing for the behavior of the main character, the pedophile, his name is Humbert Humbert. People basically were, like, justifying his behavior, and they were just like, oh, he had this, he was doing it because of this, he was, you know, yada yada. And Nabokov literally was like, why are you defending this piece of garbage? He is fucking trash. Like, you should hate him. And, like, even the author hated this character, but he is so good at writing characters and making them make sense and making you understand their motivations that he literally had people sympathizing with a pedophile. Not only a pedophile, but I mean, I'm sorry if you don't know the ending of Lolita. The book's been out since the fucking 60s, so, you know, sorry, not sorry. Not only a pedophile, a murderous pedophile. He kills the girl's mother that he's obsessed with to basically kidnap her and take her on a cross-country road trip so he can manipulate her. And I read this book when I was like 17 originally, I think. And I actually, like, didn't like the character of Lolita, the little girl, because I sympathized so much with Humbert. I was like, oh, she's seducing him, she's doing this, she's doing this, and you know, when you're a girl in high school, sometimes you get those bullshit notions of like, I'm not like the other girls. So basically, it was partially me being like, I'm not like the other girls. Like, I'm not like, you know, a girl that would seduce this older man. But like, in retrospect, I actually really want to reread it. I just haven't had the time to lately. He's fucking garbage. He killed her mom and manipulates her into doing all this bullshit. But again, like, the character is so well written that I was sad when he died. He gets arrested and he dies, if I remember correctly. Like, it's been years since I've read this book. I've been meaning to reread it, but I've actually been reading, using the time to read some of Nabokov's other books, which are honestly better than Lolita. Like, Lolita is obviously his most popular book because of like the shocking premise, but it's really not his best. I actually very much enjoyed Despair a lot more. Despair is my favorite book, but if I start talking about Despair, I'm going to get very off topic. Anyway, for me, or even, what's the other book I read that I really liked? Madame Bovary. If you've ever read Madame Bovary, it's about a woman who marries her husband for money and then cheats on him and, like, justifies herself cheating on him. And honestly, she's fucking a terrible person. She's an awful person, but again, like, she is so well written that, like, at least for me, like, I couldn't help but sympathize with her. I was like, wow, your husband is shit. And I mean, like, I don't necessarily condone what you're doing, but I can see why you're doing it. And you know what? Be you. Do you, Madame Bovary. Just do you. And anyway, my point is not to sound like a pretentious, brat, but I'm used to reading and getting into things with very well written characters that I should honestly hate, that I have loved and sympathized with. Like a, woman, or a cheating wife, a cheating, gold-digging wife, and a fucking pedophile I have sympathized with because of good, like, authors. So, it shouldn't be that hard, right, to sympathize with some sad high school kids. I hated every single character. If I didn't hate them, they were completely unmemorable to me. And that was my main issue with Angel Beats, is when you realize that they're dead, when you realize that they're in purgatory, and you realize, like, because the point of it is, once they realize that they're in purgatory, they have to kind of get over the problems that bothered them in life, like, being bullied or being disabled or whatever, to be able to be reborn. And upon finding that out, like, in theory, like, oh, I mean, I wasn't hardcore bullied in high school, but, I've had people make fun of me. I've had, I went to high school. I remember high school problems. I should be able to sympathize with these characters who, like, kind of died before being given a chance at, like, having a real life, I didn't at all. In fact, like I said, I was irritated because I felt like they were trying to be like, hey, feel bad for the characters now, right? Like, you relate to them. These characters are so relatable, and, like, it kind of felt like the author jabbing me in the ribs and being like, yeah, you get it, right? You get it now? Do you get it? Like, you relate to them, like, these characters are so great, right? And that just, it really, again, I keep saying the word irritated, but it really fucking irritated me. It irritated me to the point that, like, I now hate this anime. And according to my friend, because the characters in the original, like, 24 episode proposed plotline, they actually get a lot more time to kind of, like, we get a lot more time to get to know them and understand them and, like, kind of understand the things that I want to know about them. But that didn't happen. So judging it as is, like, not judging it off the potential that it could be, because from what he described, I probably would have actually liked it. Like, from what he said, where we get a chance to really know the characters, from what, from really, like, understanding their motivations, because if I remember correctly, like, one of them actually was in life, like, a bully to one of the other characters. I don't know, I might just be making this shit up now because it blends together with every other slice of life for me. But again, like, if it actually got the full 24 episode run that it was supposed to, and we were able to kind of get into the character motivations and get into just the characters as people rather than tropes, because they're very much just tropes, I probably would have liked it. So that's the reason I hate Angel Beats, is because it feels like I was obligated to have an emotional payoff, or I was obligated to have an emotional response to it.